Welcome to the Dr. Evelyn Ministries podcast, where we teach you how to pray, grow in faith, and impact your world.
Today, I'm talking about the Grandmaster roadmap to fulfilling your life's purpose. I have talked about the amateur, apprentice, and master roadmaps, and this is part 4 in the series. If you haven't already listened to the other ones, I will strongly encourage you to listen because that will put everything in perspective. A grandmaster is a man or a woman who have acquired extensive experience in life and has a track record of accomplishment that has impacted many lives. And you will also see that the person is a life coach and teaches, drawing on the decades of life's experience. One will say that they attended the University of Life and they have a PhD in life studies. When you look at the game of chess, for instance, they use the word grandmaster for the player who has acquired the highest class in the game. And especially this person has won an international tournament and has acquired that name by accomplishment. So, in using the Grandmaster for our roadmap, I want to imply that a person is a seasoned man or woman and has had the highest lifetime accomplishment. These men and women also have spent part of their lifetime, mentoring other people from different walks of life. They may have mentees who are in the first, second, or third generations, and some of them even have their mentees also mentoring other people. At this season of a man's life, you will also see that the talents that they started out with may have multiplied. Several fruits have come out of it. Jesus showed us that when the talents can increase, that the one who had 5 multiplied it to 10. The one who had 2 multiplied it to 4. And the one who had 1 who decided, I'm not going to use it, lost it. So you either use it or you lose it. And as you perfect your giftings, it will grow and multiply. And the master is also someone who has blazed a trail and many others are following in their footsteps. So today I will give you an example of one such grand master. We read about this guy in the Old Testament. He was called Jethro. Jethro was the father-in-law of Moses, and he gave us some of the rudiments of our modern day administration. He was observing Moses as the people of Israel came to him with their problems. And as he observed, he noticed that no, that is not how you do things. So he told his son-in-law, I've been observing what you are doing, and if you continue that way, you will wear yourself out. It will not be good for the people. It will also not be good for you. So let me give you some advice. And out of that advice that Jethro gave, we draw 5 secrets to becoming an effective grandmaster. The number 1 secret is that every grandmaster or great leader must be an intercessor. No matter your area of calling, this is applicable. You must learn how to call upon God, who is the King of Kings. Draw from your source. I was so blessed to see that in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, President Trump, the President of the United States, has called for a national day of prayer. That is a very good example to follow as a leader. Number 2, every grandmaster must be a teacher. Jesus was the greatest teacher who ever lived and earned the title Rabbi. Teach your followers or those who are under you or your sphere of influence. Teach them about the trade. Teach them about the degrees that applies to whatever they are doing. Jesus took time to teach his disciples and the multitudes. He would teach them in parables, but when they came to their private meetings, Jesus will explain to the disciples all the things that he had told the multitude in plain English so they could understand. So every great leader must also be a teacher. Sometimes you may have already created systems and processes as you were fulfilling your life's purpose, and you can pass this on so others will replicate that system. And that is how franchises are born. You see, McDonald's, they had already set in place a system that is working, and then they sell that idea to others to follow, and they can also create and multiply that same organization no matter where they are in the world. Number 3, every grandmaster must lead by example. Jethro told Moses, he said, show them the way they are to live and how to behave. Show means demonstrate. Your lifestyle and behavior should always teach others how to live. Paul could boldly say, imitate me as I follow or imitate Christ. Number 4, every grandmaster must also know the act of delegated authority. You must know how to delegate authority to capable men from all walks of life, and he didn't just leave it in a vacuum. The men that you are to choose must be one, men who fear God, men who are trustworthy, men who are not dishonest. And then you appoint these people based on their ability. They can become leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, leaders of 50s, and leaders of 10s. And then the fifth, but not the least, is define their responsibility. You must be able to tell your officers what their responsibilities are, how they are going to be marked, whether they met the mark or they didn't meet the mark. It shouldn't be left in ambiguity. It must be very clear. So you make sure that you define their responsibilities, and you also have to give them some level of autonomy. Don't micromanage people. So a great grandmaster has 5 things that they must exhibit. 1, they must lead. They must be an intercessor. Number 2, the person must be a teacher. They should be able to teach. Number 3, they have to lead by example. Number 4, they must be able to delegate authority and not micromanage their subordinates. Number 5, they must give clear-cut instructions as to the responsibilities of the people that they are delegating the authority to. And when you do these things, guess what? There are a couple of results that you will get. Your load will be lighter because you will have able men and women who are sharing the burden with you. You will have the ability to stand the strain and the stress of the work. And it also frees you up and gives you time to build your legacy. You would notice that Microsoft, as young as he is, has left the running. He has delegated the running of Microsoft to somebody else and has freed himself to travel all over the world doing philanthropic work in the area of health and education. And he's leaving his mark long after he's gone. Those places that he touched will always remember the good work that he did. And you also lay the groundwork and prepare for the next generation of leaders, and above all, a successor. God bless you richly as you put into practice these road maps: the amateur, the apprentice, the master, and grandmaster road maps. Be blessed.
If you haven't already, subscribe on iTunes. And while you're there, please leave us a rating and review.
For show notes, updates, and free resources, be sure to join our email community.
Thanks for listening.